guys, it's JP Fluellen here with the Titan Real Estate team, and in today's video, if you are thinking about moving to Cheyenne, got PCS orders, and you are a veteran, well, first off, welcome to the home of big skies, big bases, and even better housing opportunities. So I am a veteran, so I'm very familiar with veteran purchases, VA home loans, all the fun stuff that goes with the process of getting a VA loan. And in the next few minutes, I'm gonna break down the exact how a VA loan will make a move to Cheyenne smooth, smart, and financially sound. Why Cheyenne rocks for military families? Well, we have F.E. Warren Air Force Base. We have a very strong military community. And also, we don't have any state tax in Wyoming. There is affordable cost of living and a strong resale value. So if you're looking for family friendly, there's lots of outdoor activities. There's short commutes. I mean, we're talking like 8 minutes. You can get all the way across the entire town in 15 minutes. And we have some solid schools here as well. And the thing with VA loans, here's the basics. There's a zero down payment. You have a funding fee that does get incorporated into the loan, so you don't have to actually bring a physical down payment. Now, one of the things that you do need to know is that there is still closing costs associated with the transaction. And in many cases, we can negotiate those closing costs to be paid for by the seller. So it just kind of depends on the house, how much you love it, and whether the seller is willing to negotiate that as part of the concessions. And there's major advantages for active duty and veterans, common loan limits, and competitive rates in Laramie County. Also, if you have some issues, some credit things, there's also ways, depending on the demand, that we can actually get the amount of the concessions also incorporating into some things like debt payoff, things like that can also be incorporated into the concession amount. It just really depends on how the lender has underwritten you and if there's anything like that we would need to take care of in order to make you a competitive buyer. Also, VA loans aren't just for first-time home buyers. You can reuse your benefits over and over and over again. In some cases, you can actually have 2 VA loans out at the same time if you still have some amount left of your benefit. I actually did that with a seller, and the same person, she was also buying, and she had some of her benefit was left over. So between the 2 houses, she was still able to have 2 VA loans left, noting that the first property was going to be listed for sale. So that's pretty awesome when it comes to being flexible with the VA and the amount of benefit that you have and being flexible with that. So some PCS and relocation tips. How to start house hunting before you arrive. So some of the things that we can do is we can do virtual tours. We can get you a clear picture of what it is that is available. We can also get some local agent support to get some information about the property, any kind of disclosures that can give you a heads up on that property that you're interested in. And with today's technology, there's just so many ways that we can do a lot of this stuff virtually so that you can actually purchase and close before you actually get PCS to your new location. Timing with your BAH with closing dates to avoid double housing payments. So you can actually get your benefit installed and then actually be able to use that full amount to make the payment on the house, so that way you don't have to make 2 payments on the old house. There's just multiple ways that we can figure out how to reduce the amount of cost and frustration when you're moving into a new area. Getting set up with temporary lodging, we can also do that. So if you're moving into a new area, we can get you set up on temporary lodging out at the base. And if you're doing new construction, we can also sometimes line up your temporary housing so that when your new construction is ready, then you can transition from temporary housing into your new home. Also, the importance of local VA experienced lender and agent. So this is crucially important because there are always local nuances that are just different and don't necessarily translate to the things that you look up on ChatGPT or you have experience with it in your local area. There's always those little local nuances that are helpful to know when you are looking and wanting to buy in a new area. So finding an experienced agent that is all aware of those little nuances and using a local lender as well that can also break down those local nuances, because there might be some things that you might think are actually true and they might be in your area, but they're not necessarily true in Cheyenne. So if you're looking for experienced agents that know how to use VA and help you properly, the Titan Real Estate team's experience helping service members by sight unseen is very helpful, and we can help you make those purchases and those decisions with confidence. And one other tip here, actually there's a couple of pro tips here. Even before you get orders in hand, I would get pre-approved early. That way you know exactly what you qualify for, you know exactly what your buy box is, what you're looking for, and that way you get a really good understanding of the market here in Cheyenne, and also understanding how the local appraisal rules work, and what kind of inspection standards that comes part of that VA appraisal, because an appraisal is different than a home inspection. And that is probably the number one myth out there, that the VA is going to do the inspection, and that is just not true. So working with a realtor that speaks military is crucial in understanding, as well as PCS times, VA paperwork, and overall reduce your stress level. So if you're heading to Cheyenne and you want to make your VA benefits work for you, go ahead and reach out to myself or my team, and we can set up a consultation, and hopefully we can get you dialed in. And so make sure at the end of this video, you just made it. So hit like, hit subscribe, hit that alerts button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.